I definitely want to talk about what my mindset is coming back into the United States. And the way in which I'm going to do this, shout out to Edmund. I'm definitely going to be reading that super chat shortly. I don't miss Tokyo. I don't miss Tokyo, right? He said, are you missing Tokyo yet? Nope, I don't. And the reason why I don't miss Tokyo is because I'm 100% immersed in what it is that I have going on at all times. When I was in Tokyo, I loved it. I lived it. I enjoyed it. I absolutely celebrated it. And when I'm here in Michigan and Detroit, I absolutely love it. I celebrate it and I embrace this. In every situation that I'm in, I'm 100% immersed in it, right? It doesn't matter of a relationship. It don't matter if it's this show. While I'm doing this show, I'm not thinking anything about what's going on in corporate America. While I'm doing this, I'm not thinking about anything that's going on in corporate America. While I'm doing corporate America, I'm not thinking about anything that's going on with the show. When I'm in a coaching call with you guys, I'm 100% in the moment. In the moment. When I get back to Tokyo, I'm going to get to Tokyo. I even tell my daughter on a regular basis, I say, hey, don't live it twice. Never live it twice. A lot of y'all be worrying about what's going to happen. Most of the time, don't even nothing happen. But you done already worried your socks off, then took 2 years off your life with worry and stress and shit. Immerse yourself in whatever it is that you in right there and then live it all the way up into the moment. But what I learned in Tokyo was it was on display as a result of when I landed at the airport here in Metro Detroit. Now, Metro Detroit Airport, DTW, is a phenomenal airport. It's an awesome airport. It's one of the, especially the McNamara Terminal, is one of the best airports that I've ever been in. It is a great airport. But then I go outside, right? And I'm about to jump in the car, and I seen a guy pull over in a pickup truck, white guy, and he had on some colorful pants. Truck looked relatively new. And so, you know, he was well put together. And the first thing that he did was he jumped out of the truck. He threw his cigarette on the ground. He stomped on it. And then he went about his business in order to get the luggage from the person that he was picking up. Let me say it one more time. It may not be a big deal to you because this is your cultural norm, but we talking about me coming over from an environment in which they don't believe in that. They don't believe in that. He got out of his truck. He threw his cigarette on the ground. He stomped on it, and then he kept moving. And I'm looking at him, and he looking at me, and he can't understand why I'm looking at him, but he looking at me trying to understand why I'm looking at him. And the reason that is because they don't even have trash cans out in the open on the street in Tokyo, Japan. They don't have trash cans. People had a sense of pride. Beyond the cultural differences when it comes to the women, beyond the opportunities that came along with all of the different conversations and the people, beyond the visiting of the Buddhist temples and going shopping and the cost of living and things being cheaper and all of that other type of stuff, here's the biggest thing that I learned from Tokyo, Japan. And I got videos that's coming out later on today and tomorrow about my summary of it and all of that. Beyond the Delta One flights and all of the stunting and the money and everything like that, what I've noticed, the biggest differences between here and there is that there's no sense of pride here. There's no sense of pride. People don't care. They expect everybody to do it for them. Nobody takes any ownership and responsibility of their own situations. Everybody feels a certain type of way, but don't nobody actually want to do anything, any self-work. Whenever it is that they have a problem, they look out the window and they point the finger instead of looking in the mirror and pointing the finger and holding themselves accountable. We don't push each other. We don't care about each other. The biggest thing that we celebrate is when we can tear somebody else down. Nobody has any kind of sense of pride in their own neighborhood. Everybody is looking for a confrontation. Everybody want to fight. When somebody then does something for you that is positive, everybody looks at it with a side eye and try to understand what the ulterior motive is instead of just saying, yo, that's a nice gesture. We think that doing something nice for a person is something that is an anomaly, and so we celebrate it as though it's a big deal, when in reality, that's the cultural norm over in Tokyo, Japan. We don't have no work ethic. We think that work-life balance is that the job is supposed to pay us and we not supposed to work at all. We trying to do a shortcut for everything that we do. Good is bad and bad is good. Everything is backwards. I didn't see one flag over there that was hanging up. I don't even think I remember seeing a fucking gas station. Nobody cared, but everybody cared at the same time, meaning that nobody actually cared about the thing that was negative about you, but everybody cared about building you up and having a great conversation regardless of whatever it is that you came from. You know the wildest thing that I seen over there in Japan, and it shouldn't even be something that blew my mind? I seen my first black woman over there, right? And then I wound up seeing two more later. I only seen 3 black women. But that's not the wild part about it, right? Because most people are not willing to take a 13-hour flight all the way over into the other side of the world. The interesting thing about it was that all of them operated the exact same way that I was experiencing Japanese women. Feminine, fit, friendly, awesome, great disposition, helpful, courteous, nice looking, well put together. Which basically told me, and I know it's a small sample size of just 3 women that we're talking about, but what it told me was that it's not based off of race. It's not based off of what you look like. It's not based off of the melanin in your skin. It's not based off of where it is that you live. It's not based off of if you were born in a hood or an urban community or whether or not you were born in the suburbs. It's your cultural norms. It's the thing that you celebrate the most. It's the way in which you program yourself. That's going to be the determining factor for whether or not your streets is dirty. It's not going to be whether or not the government or a politician can come in and clean it up. It's going to be based off of you take your own pride in what it is that you do. If I can see people adapt to the environment that they're in and do it in a positive way, you can't tell me that the things that we celebrate the most here are not trash. You can't tell me that the thing that we celebrate the most here is not trash. It didn't matter because you got to understand, it wasn't just Japanese people there. It was Italian people there. It was Arabic people there. It was people from Nepal that we met that was there. It was black people there. Every black guy that I met, because there was more black men, right, that were there. And you know what they were doing? Well put together, walking the streets, taking care of business, being able to speak more than one language because apparently they had been there for an extended period of time. Respectful. Even the young black men was respectful. The young black women was well put together the same way that the Japanese women was put together. So it's their cultural norm. It's not the fact that you black. They don't separate themselves and treat you differently because of your skin color. And this is why I need you guys to travel. I need you guys to get out of your bubble, start to experience other cultures, stop running in the victim Olympics, start understanding what it is that you can take from another culture that's positive and then implement it in your life. Stop aligning with people outside of anything other than the character of who it is that they are and start aligning with people based off of the good things that you see. The things that we embrace here is trash, y'all. I'm telling you. It's trash. It's absolute garbage. We don't have no pride. And we used to have a sense of pride. Yo, I loved looking at early footage of the 50s. Because that's when black people used to actually dress up to go to a baseball game. Do you know that we used to dress up to go to a baseball game? Every single time that we went out, we went to the restaurant. It wasn't that I was infatuated with the times in which they lived in. I was infatuated with the way in which people had a sense of pride and carried themselves. And that's why I'm so infatuated with certain eras. Even the gangsters wore suits. We used to dress up to go to a baseball game. We used to take our family to places. We used to eat dinner together. Now look at us. Overindulged in the wrong things, over-sexualized, not addressing the things that's negative about us in order to continue to validate bad behavior. Can't nobody say nothing to nobody. Everybody can use whatever bathroom that they want to use. It's a free for all. A free for all. Nobody has any sense of pride, dignity. When I talk about hygiene, you know they sit here and they call me gay because I know how to wipe my ass properly, because I know how to properly use a fucking wet wipe so that I don't have streaks in my drawers. Yo, we attack the things that's so bad about us. Yo, I'm about to go and get my nails clean so that when I'm having sexual relations with my wife, I don't have dirt everywhere, and I make sure that I clean my hands when I come in. Oh man, that's gay. What the fuck you talking about? Yo, I heard a live stream. I be watching everything. People be sending me stuff all the time. And so I tap into the live stream, and they trying to understand whether or not they think I'm gay. What? Nigga, what? Really? Seriously? I've been married since I was 22 years old. I ain't never, ever had a man that ever touched me in my life. But I'm gay because I know how to take care of myself. Because I like to be trim. My beard is trim. My head is shaved. Because I don't like a whole bunch of hair on my body because it holds odor and dirt. And I make sure that I clean my beard and stuff. Yo, we attack the dumbest stuff. The dumbest stuff, bro. And of course, I didn't say anything. I just observed at it and I laughed at it. Because I like to smell good. Because I like to have my teeth brushed. Because my teeth are taken care of. This is insane. Our cultural norms is insane. Insane. I've been married for 20 years. And you know what else I found? It's not the dudes that's well taken care of that you got to worry about. It's the dudes that pretend like they thugs that you really got to worry about, because those are the ones that's really on the down low. It's not the ones that's well taken care of that you got to worry about. It's not the people that openly like to dress well, that like to brush their teeth, that take at least 2 showers a day, that like to keep their nails clipped, whose hands ain't ashy all day. It's the dudes that got the twists, the dreads, they overly thug, they make sure they sag every time that they can, get in front of you. Those are the ones that you got to worry about. It's the ones that overcompensate in order to try to make you think that they more thug than they are, instead of the ones that's just comfortably living and like to be clean all day. It be the dustiest people that's actually out there doing what it is that they do. I'm just being real with you, bro. I'm just being real with you. It's not the ones that's just chilling and comfortable. It's always the ones that push the envelope because they trying to overcompensate and trying to sell you on a narrative of what's not true. I'm just telling you the real. Some of your favorite rappers, the thugginest dudes, the ones that's on your camera the most, sus. I'm telling you, the thugginest dudes that you see, that you celebrate the most, are the most sus dudes that I've ever seen in my entire life, bro. Real talk. And of course, it's not everybody that got dreads. I'm using that as an example of certain people that overcompensate in order to try to sell you a narrative.